Beginning the new transfer. My name's Ethan Cole, and I was the first human ever allowed to attend the Interstellar Academy of Lyra Prime, a school orbiting a blue star 5 light-years from Earth. When the shuttle door opened, I expected applause, curiosity, maybe even excitement. What I got instead were stares. Long, unblinking, uncomfortable stares. They looked at me the way you'd look at a wild animal that somehow wandered into your city. Fascinating, but better kept at a distance. Lyra Prime students were from dozens of different species. Some had translucent skin, some with silver eyes that shimmered like mercury, and others who floated instead of walked. Yet none of them came near me as I made my way to my dorm. The academy official, an older being with coral-colored tendrils instead of hair, gave me a sympathetic look. "You'll find your footing, human. Just avoid drawing attention. The Lyrans don't take well to outsiders disrupting balance." Balance. That was their obsession. Everything on Lyra Prime was about symmetry, in thought, behavior, and even relationships. They didn't smile too wide, didn't speak too loud, and never made direct eye contact for more than 3 seconds. Anything more was considered too intense. And then there was her. The girl who didn't look away. Middle, the girl with silver eyes. Her name was Vera, a Lyrian, tall, with faint bioluminescent lines that glowed softly across her skin. Her hair shimmered like the edge of a moonlit wave, and her eyes were silver pools, reflecting every thought I didn't speak aloud. She sat in the same class, xenopsychology. I noticed her because she did the one thing every other student refused to do. She looked straight at me. Not a casual glance. A locked, unblinking stare that froze me in place. For a moment I thought it was a challenge. Lyrans were known for emotional control, but her expression wasn't cold. It was curious. Almost human. When class ended, I tried to leave quietly, but a voice stopped me. "Human," she said, her tone soft but carrying an echo like a whisper through glass. "You see differently, don't you?" Turn. "I guess I do. Humans tend to use eyes for that." Her head tilted slightly. Confusion. Amusement. No sarcasm. "Not here. It unbalances communication." "Sorry," I muttered. Force of habit. She stepped closer, and I noticed something strange. Her glow flickered. Lyrian's light patterns were tied to emotion. Hers had dimmed like she was nervous. "I've never seen your kind," she said. "And yet, I feel recognition." It should have sounded poetic. Instead, it sent a chill down my spine. "Recognition?" Yes. She blinked slowly. "Like I've seen your thoughts before." The rules of Lyra Prime. Weeks passed, and I kept to myself as ordered. Humans weren't exactly popular in the galaxy, not after the wars that reshaped interstellar treaties. But Saren didn't stay away. She sat near me at meals, always exactly 1 seat apart. She'd ask questions about Earth. "Why do humans dream? Why do you laugh when you're afraid? Why do you look into each other's eyes so long?" Sometimes I'd catch her staring again. Once, during a xenobiology lab, I caught her studying the faint scar on my arm. "That mark," she said, tracing it in the air but never touching. "You were harmed protecting someone." Froze. She was right. I hadn't told anyone that story. About the fire, my younger sister, and the glass that tore my skin. "How did you?" Her pupils expanded slightly. "I don't know. It's like your memories resonate." It was impossible. Or at least it should have been. I did some digging in the archives. Lyrian physiology, empathic resonance, their neurolite systems. What I found made me sit back in disbelief. Lyrians were partially telepathic. They could feel emotional frequencies. but only with those whose energy matched their own. It was a phenomenon known as the mirror bond. And according to their records, it only occurred between two beings whose neural patterns were identical in resonance frequency, which should have been impossible between species. Yet every time Saren looked at me, I felt something tug at the edge of my thoughts. The connection deepens. One night I couldn't sleep. The dorm windows shimmered with the light of Lyra's twin moons. I wandered outside to the gardens, silver grass glowing softly, vines humming with faint energy. And there she was, Saren, sitting alone beneath the crystalline trees. "You shouldn't be out here," I said quietly. "The faculty. They know," she interrupted. "They watch everything. But I needed to see you." Her glow was dimmer tonight, pulsing irregularly. "Something's wrong," I said. She looked up at me, and for the first time there was fear in her voice. "I'm losing control of my light." "What does that mean?" "When Illyrian's resonance begins to shift, it can only mean one thing. Our frequencies are merging. It's forbidden." My heart skipped. "Because of me?" She nodded slowly. "Because you think of me when I'm not there." Hit me like a silent explosion. She could feel my thoughts, maybe even hear them. Her light flickered again, and she leaned forward. "When you think of me, your mind calls out. And my kind always answer what calls to them." I didn't know what to say. This wasn't just attraction, it was something deeper, stranger. Like the universe had tethered our thoughts without permission. "What happens if this connection continues?" "Yes." Her voice trembled. "The council will separate us. They fear resonance between different species could destroy balance. They'll erase the bond." "Erase your memories." "Mine too." The separation. Days later, the Academy announced an emergency recalibration. Saren was absent from class. I tried to ask around, but everyone avoided me. Then I found the message, projected into my room by a faint silver light. Her voice echoed softly. "They're taking me to the resonance chamber. Don't try to find me, Ethan. The process is irreversible. But I wanted you to know, I didn't mean to hear your thoughts. I only wanted to understand you." My chest tightened. I didn't think. I just ran. Through the glowing corridors, past the faculty, into the restricted zone. The resonance chamber loomed like a cathedral of light, massive pillars humming with power. Inside, Saren stood in a containment field, surrounded by energy arcs. Her glow was fading. The counselor turned toward me. "Human, leave. This doesn't concern your kind." "The hell it doesn't," shouted. "You can't erase someone's mind because of a feeling. Feelings disrupt order," the counselor said coolly. "Her connection to you is a threat." Saren met my gaze, whispering, "You shouldn't have come." I stepped closer, ignoring the energy crackling around the field. "You told me once that Lyrians balance everything. But maybe balance isn't perfection. Maybe it's understanding both sides." For a moment, the council hesitated. But the chamber's power surged. I didn't think twice. I rushed forward and slammed my hand against the energy barrier. Pain shot through me like liquid fire. My thoughts spilled. Every memory, every emotion. My sister, the fire, the loneliness, the laughter. And then I felt her. Not as a voice, but as warmth. Saren's presence flooded my mind, steadying me. "You're not supposed to do this," she whispered in my thoughts. "Neither are you," I whispered back. The fusion. The chamber lights overloaded. The council shouted, but their voices were drowned in the hum of resonance.